let's move on to the innovation keynote session. In this session, we have invited 3 experts from Japan and abroad to share their expectations for Yokohama as a global business hub in relation to GX and decarbonization. Our first speaker is Bernice van Bronckhorst, Global Director for Urban Resilience and Land Global Practice, World Bank. She's going to give a speech on video.
Esteemed delegates, my name is Bernice van Bronckhorst and I am the Global Director for the Urban Disaster Risk Management, Resilience and Land Global Practice of the World Bank. It is my great honor to represent the World Bank and open the 12th Asia Smart City Conference. I really very warmly welcome the return of this conference to an in-person format, understanding really the unparalleled value of face-to-face interactions and mutual learning. I'm really sorry at the same time that I cannot be present with you, however, but I really want to tell you how impressed I am with what Yokohama has achieved over the past years. During my recent visit to Yokohama in late August, I had the privilege of engaging with Mayor Yamanaka and various city officials, and I had the opportunity to learn a little bit about the city, but more importantly, the policies and programs of Yokohama to achieve its net zero carbon emissions target by 2050. Yokohama City is known for its leading initiatives towards climate action, and I really want to start by thanking Mayor Yamanaka for his leadership in this regard, as well as his really strong commitment to rally other cities towards global decarbonization. As you all know, we stand at a critical crossroads in shaping the future of humanity and deciding the fate of our planet. Climate change, much like the pandemic, is pervasive and impacting all of us. Yet, the consequences of climate change are not distributed evenly, where developing countries experience 9 out of 10 deaths and 60% of economic losses from climate-induced extreme events. Like the pandemic, climate change is a public health emergency of international concern, an extraordinary event that constitutes public health risk to other countries and requires a coordinated international response. The distinction, however, between climate change and the pandemic, of course, is that climate change global warming brings irreversible impacts. Even if all greenhouse gas emissions were to be ceased today, it would take thousands of years for Earth to return to pre-industrial emissions levels. And it's that amount of time that none of us can afford. In other terms, simply said, we're running out of time. Yet the world is still seeing record emissions. Collective measures have thus far fallen short, with our immediate environments quickly degrading and teetering on the brink of irreversible destruction. The time for action is now, and we must heed the extreme weather events, which have become more acute and frequent as the last straws for global action, and for us to restore our relationship with the natural environment. Navigating the path towards addressing climate change is undoubtedly very, very challenging, both technically, financially, and particularly finding the political will. Steering through this journey bears significant responsibility, but the decisions we make today will have the power to effect meaningful change. Cities, of course, are at the forefront of the challenge, but also of the solution. Cities are responsible for 70% of GHG emissions, but climate-smart urban planning and interventions in urban transport, waste, and the quantity and quality of the built environment can drastically reduce emissions. More importantly, reducing emissions can also make cities cleaner, healthier, and more affordable. For example, compact and coordinated urban development can result in reduced long-term infrastructure costs, shorter commutes, less traffic, and less pollution. We are really grateful to Mayor Yamanaka and the city of Yokohama for the opportunity to collaborate and co-organize this Asia Smart City Conference, bringing together representatives from Asian cities, national governments, international organizations, academic institutions, and private companies to exchange ideas, insights, and experiences that highlight that decarbonization is indeed achievable. The collaboration between Yokohama City and the World Bank is cemented through the City Partnership Program between the World Bank Tokyo Development Learning Center, mostly known by the initials of the TDLC, and Japanese city governments. The TDLC is deepening the World Bank's role as a knowledge bank, and through TDLC's knowledge events, is facilitating the dissemination of Japanese experiences and other good global practices to cities that we support around the world. And I'm really, again, want to say I am delighted that the World Bank's TDLC and Yokohama City is serving together as vehicles of knowledge and agency of change. We are stronger when we are united, and I hope that the transformational story of Yokohama and the new partnerships you forge throughout the week will inspire you and catalyze a new drive towards accelerating action for decarbonization. Thank you very much.
We truly appreciate Director Bronkhorst. And next, we would like to ask Hideaki Tanaka, Executive Officer, General Manager, Hydrogen Business Department, NMS Corporation, to give a speech. Please come up to the stage, Mr. Tanaka.
Good morning. My name is Hideaki Tanaka, and I am Hydrogen Business Department Manager of NMS Corporation. Thank you very much for such a great opportunity today to make presentation in front of all of you. Let me first introduce ENEOS. ENEOS Holdings consists of three business segments, which are ENEOS Corporation that handles crude oil refining and sales, oil and gas exploration, and mining and metals. ENEOS have a strong determination to support today's normal and to take the lead for tomorrow's normal. Many of you may know that ENEOS operates many gasoline stations in Japan. In addition to the gasoline stations, we also operate hydrogen refueling stations. However, unlike having 12,000 gasoline stations, we only have 43 hydrogen refueling stations, mainly in Kanto, Chukyo, Kansai, and Kyushu areas. Gasoline station has completely become today's normal. We are working very hard so that hydrogen will become tomorrow's normal. Japanese government's hydrogen basic strategy was updated in June this year. Their target is to establish 12 million tons per year of hydrogen supply in 2040 and 20 million in 2050. In line with the government strategy, we have been operating hydrogen stations for FCVs since 2014. We now have the focus to target buses and trucks in line with government strategy. In addition to FCVs, today we are focusing to supply hydrogen to power stations, steel mills, ships, and railways to expand our hydrogen businesses. We are working on multiple projects overseas, such as in Australia and in Southeast Asia. These projects are to bring hydrogen to Japan. We are working to receive hydrogen into our refinery locations. Then we can supply hydrogen to our own refineries, to nearby airport, and to other customers. Pipeline development study is also underway, such as in Kawasaki. In the early stage of hydrogen society, we expect the hydrogen demand to ramp up starting from power generation and steel mills. Since refineries are located in the industry complex, refineries will play an important role to supply hydrogen to such industries. Also, it is important to note that hydrogen is a source of methanol, e-methane, e-fuel, and e-chemical. Once hydrogen is started to be used for such purpose, we expect hydrogen demand to increase rapidly and significantly. There are multiple hydrogen carrier options, and each option has advantage and disadvantage. Within liquefied hydrogen, MCH and ammonia, we are especially looking into liquefied hydrogen and MCH. We are good at MCH, And the reason is that MCH is one of petrochemical products which we produce as oil refiners, and we can make use of existing facilities such as vessels and tanks. MCH stands for methyl cyclohexane, and it is one of the LOHC, liquid organic hydrogen carrier. MCH is familiar to us because it is main source material for correction fluid as an example. Correction fluid is white, but MCH is colorless and transparent liquid under normal temperature and pressure. We can take hydrogen out of MCH by dehydrogenating MCH. Then MCH will be converted to toluene, another petrochemical product which is source material for gasoline as an example. Then we ship toluene back to the overseas country to hydrogenate it to produce MCH again. You may think MCH will be a big volume compared to liquefied hydrogen. However, for the same quantity of hydrogen, MCH volume is only 1.5 times as liquefied hydrogen. We developed direct MCH process technology, and this simplifies the process and reduces costs of hydrogen production. Unlike the usual electrolysis hydrogen process that uses water for electrolyte, direct MCH process uses toluene for electrolyte. This saves hydrogen tanks and MCH reactor. We started direct MCH plant operation in Brisbane, Australia early this year. Then we brought MCH to Japan and took hydrogen out in our laboratory. We actually used this hydrogen to refuel FCV. Ceremony was held in June this year at our Tsunashima hydrogen station, inviting Yokohama Mayor Mr. Yamanaka to demonstrate the first direct MCH derivative green hydrogen refueling to Toyota Coaster. We are a member of the Yokohama Decarbonization Innovation Council, and we will actively contribute to decarbonization initiatives in the city of Yokohama. We aim to create hydrogen supply hubs in our refineries and plan to build a regional pipeline network. We are already working on the projects to bring both the liquefied hydrogen and the MCH to Kawasaki. We started our project from Kawasaki area because we have our Kawasaki refinery in the big Kawasaki industrial complex with abundant hydrogen demand opportunities from surrounding companies. Kawasaki refinery is located very close to Haneda Airport with only one river, Tamagawa River, in between the refinery and the airport. Kawasaki is next to Yokohama, and we see multiple potential opportunities in Yokohama as well. We also operate 6 hydrogen refueling stations in Yokohama. One day, such stations can be also as part of this hydrogen network. I would like to introduce one of our hydrogen refueling stations. Yokohama Asahi Hydrogen Station was opened as our 5th commercial station in 2015. In this station, we installed solar panels and electrolyzer in 2021 and installed EMS in 2022. Both of them were our first trial in our stations. EMS stands for Energy Management System. Under the EMS, water electrolyzer is automatically controlled, harmonizing with hydrogen demand forecast. EMS can plan and run facilities to produce hydrogen most efficiently. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanaka. And finally, we would like to ask F. Cleo Kawawaki, Head, Office of Market Development and Public-Private Partnership, Asian Development Bank.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. So I guess we're all hamako now, right? Because we've been in Yokohama for a day and a half more, and we're officially hamako, as I understand it. Thank you very much for Yokohama City to inviting us to the 12th Asia City Conference. And I'm so glad, as Bernice was saying from the video, that this is in person, right? So good to see everyone and actually be able to talk to you on the sidelines. Over the years, this conference has been a great forum for exchange of ideas and discussion, and ADB has been a very keen collaborator of this conference. And I look forward to really learning from all the participants and hopefully making a few new friends. Yokohama holds a very, very special place in ADB's heart as the city that helped us celebrate our 50th anniversary. Our staff still talk very fondly of the city's efficiency and perfect planning for our special annual meeting. On that occasion, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Yokohama City, for the first city to sign such in Japan. And we have, through that, a knowledge sharing initiatives, and we are really grateful to the city of Yokohama for their generous sharing of their expertise and experience, because I think nothing says more than learning through the experience of others. The strategic integration of cutting-edge technologies. The city has really effectively tackled challenges encountered by a lot of cities. These include, for example, the deployment of smart grids, streamlined waste management systems, and the state-of-the-art public transportation infrastructure. Such initiatives have not only diminished environmental impacts of the city, but decreased greenhouse gas emissions, as well as enhance the efficient use of resources. And I really like to thank the staff of the wastewater and the sludge treatment plant that we visited yesterday. And they showed us, how sludge is so important and how the resource can be recycled into ash for cement and charcoal. But I understand that I'm not supposed to use the charcoal that they gave us for cooking food because it's a little bit smelly. The goal that Yokohama has of reducing their greenhouse gas emissions by 50% to 2030 is inspiring, very inspiring. And the thing that, you're already well on your way is very impressive. Now, I think, as Bernice was saying, we all recognize that we're in a very tight spot in terms of climate change. I think we've all experienced through this year that it seems to be accelerating. And there is, no more time for business as usual. Transformation to a zero carbon, the theme of this conference, needs to be accelerated, or we'll lose the battle of climate change. I mean, our president, Asakawa, is always hammering to all the staff in ADB, the battle for climate change will be lost or won in Asia Pacific. And cities have, as Bernice was saying, 70% of those emissions. So we really need to work with the cities to make sure that we don't lose this battle. And what is needed for us to accelerate? Integrated planning supported with low carbon, smart and adapted infrastructure is a must. Okay? Enabling policies and regulations to achieve this is a must. Continuous capacity building is a must to take advantage of new innovations and technologies that'll help us do things better, faster, and hopefully cheaper. Physical sustainability, incorporating resilience and structuring bankable projects is a must to attract private sector capital and innovation. So overall, we like saying, and you've heard this many times before, that there's $1.7 trillion worth of investment that is needed in Asia every year. And a little below 40% can be done by governments in their fiscal space. I mean, this is a really daunting gap, 60% gap. So we need to look at smarter, faster, and better solutions to stretch that fiscal space. We need everyone, public sector, private sector, innovators, scientists, and financiers to work together. ADB has initiatives to support Asian cities with all the musts and bringing the resources together. And we hope really that we'll get the opportunity to support as many cities as possible. From the upstream engagement with enabling environment to advising on project selection, structuring, marketing, to financing governments and private sector, we have all the musts that needed for this transformation. We have been a little bit ambitious ourselves. We have a $100 billion target for climate change finance by 2030. And to help with that, we have the Innovative Finance Facility for Asia Pacific, IFCAP, and along with other funds. And we've just announced that we'll be able to finance $10 billion more every year for 10 years with our new capital framework. So the money, we have the money, kind of. Not enough, of course, but we need to leverage that, multiply that. And what we need really is, as I was saying, everyone to come together to help the cities. And one of the things that we found very effective is seeing, listening, then doing. Seeing what you experience in this forum, seeing each other, seeing the facilities, seeing new technologies, listening to the people, the innovators, to get those ideas. And then, again, talking, listening with each other to see what kind of experiences that the others have had, to really go for that transformational journey in doing. We hope that this, and we're pretty sure that this is one of the platforms that will be leveraging the acceleration. We really appreciate the initiative and commitment by Yokohama in creating this platform to share these experiences and explore the ideas and cross-learn especially. We're really honored to have this long-established relationship with the city of Yokohama, and we think that with the green transition, I think the mayor was saying 2027 Expo, we look forward to looking at those new solutions as well, and to support future Asia City conferences, along with this one and other platforms that the Yokohama can have to share its experience, seeing, listening, and doing for everyone to come together and accelerate the transformation of Asian cities. Thank you very much for your invitation. Thank you very much to the participants for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kawawaki. And please give a big round of applause to our three speakers of Innovation Keynote session. Thank you very much.